everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having an amazing Monday morning, dodging work and having fun on the internet instead of, actually getting stuff done. If you're doing exactly that while watching this video, then good for you. You are my intended audience. I mean, why do boring filling out paperwork crap when you can watch some cool stuff here and maybe learn something along the way? So yeah, I'm shooting this in the early afternoon on Sunday, but this has definitely been shot with the Monday morning dodging work crowd in mind. In other words, you. And good for you. So got my AeroPress coffee here, and today's video is brought to us by Waves. They hit me up the other day and said, "Hey Glenn, we're having this massive sale on all the Chris Lord algae plugins." And I'm like, cool. I like a lot of the CLA stuff here. Like the 1176 has been around for years. It sounds great. What else we got on here? Am I using anything else from CLA? Oh, the Epic Stereo Reverb. I just started messing around with this the other day. It's pretty cool. But I want to turn you guys on to something that's kind of like been the hidden gem when it comes to Waves plugins, and that's the CLA Mix Hub. And I know this was going for a few $100 a couple of years ago. Now, I'll admit this thing was a little bit weird at first because it was like had this bucket system going on. It's like, okay, what the hell is this? And if we go back to channel here, like we can assign this to a bucket. And I still haven't figured out exactly just what the hell this is for. I mean, like if you're mixing on an SSL console, I guess it makes sense. But for us mere mortals who don't have one, it's kind of a bit of a head scratcher. However, my very good friend Lasse Lammert, who did all the Ailstorm records, we've been buddies for years, he mentioned on one of the forums that the channel strip here on the Mix Hub is absolutely stellar. So I threw together a mix here for you guys from the other day. You guys remember that Sun Beta lead demo I did? Well, check this out. This is using the Mix Hub on an awful lot of channels. And I'm just using like the 76 compressor on a couple of other things for like buses and that kind of stuff. Check this out. I love that Sun Beta lead sound. That thing's just absolutely ridiculously amazing. So a bunch of you guys were asking me about the snare sound on that mix, and it all has to do with the SSL simulation. In this case, on this particular mix here, I'm using the Mix Hub. And I actually picked up a cool trick from Andy Wallace in one of his videos, and it comes down to gating the snare. If we take a listen here, I've got 3 tracks here. We've got, our snare, our bus, got a top and a bottom. If we turn this off, real cool trick here is, so I've got my two snare tracks, my top mic and my bottom mic here. Doesn't sound so great all on its own, but top mic is this. We're using the channel strip here just for a gate. Turn that off. Crank it on, and we've just got a pretty fast attack gate going on. Same with the bottom strip. Just a little piff, piff, piff. No EQ or anything. That's with it out. That's with it in. So we've got the 2 gates going on here combined. Make sure you're in phase, folks. I learned that the other day. So we put them on the channel here. We kick on the old Mix Hub. And we're EQing the 2 channels as a group. We've got a little bit of high pass filter going in. We got a pretty healthy boost going on here. And we've got a bit of a cut right at 500 hertz, a bit of a low end boost. That's one thing I'll say from hanging out with guys like Warren Hewitt is they always say, don't be afraid to crank something to see what it does. So yeah, we've got some pretty hefty EQ going on. But we've got a couple different compressor types here. We're just using the channel strip, SSL type channel strip here. We can go to a Bluey, and that's probably Chris's 1176. It's a little too spanky for this. It's got a bit more breath like this. And this is the thing. I mean, like, again, hanging out with guys like Warren Hewitt and talking to Paul Lonnie and whatnot, a lot of our favorite records are all done on an SSL console. And this one in particular, Waves modeled right off of Chris's desk. So everybody knows the sound of this thing. This has been on a lot of hit records, so to speak. So it's going to give you a bit of that vibe, that's for sure. And so we got a little bit of compression EQ going on the snare. But it's all about more than one thing here. So what we got here is we've got a drum crush going on where everything's being fed into this. Let's take the reverb out there for a sec. World's most insane reverb ever. And we're just really hitting the drums hard with the CLA 76 here. Turn it off. Very thin sounding. So let me just show you what's going on here with the drum crush bus. We're hitting it really hard with an 1176 slow attack, fast attack, fast release. That's how we do it. All in, just hitting it really hard. If we mute that, adding that extra little drum crush in there just really brings it to life. It's parallel compression at its finest. So what I got going on in Reaper is I got everything going into a folder called Drum Bus, and this is all the shells, the kick, the snare, the toms. And then I've got a send going to the drum crush, and I can just mute that out at will. Sounds really thin on its own, but we throw that in. Everything just comes to life. Add a little bit of reverb. Using the CLA 11 or Epic Stereo, and then we've using the mix hub to actually gate this. We turn the gate off. Kind of gives it that big wow kind of sound that I really like, that we haven't heard on records in a very long time. I think, okay, what the hell? If you're going to do something, completely over the top stoner rock vibe, then why not have some fun with it? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, but nobody likes that anymore. Well, I like the sound of it. So it's just a combination of a bunch of different things going on, but the heart of it here is the mix up. And like I said, this channel strip is just absolutely fantastic. The gates are great. The compressor is great. And the fact that it gives you the option to go from a desk SSL type compressor, what you'd find on the channels, to the Bluey, which is, I believe, Chris's 1176. That's really freaking cool. I think I'm using the Bluey here somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where the hell I put it. But I mean, like, I'm using the 76 on the drum rooms and on the crush, and that's it. And the rest is all just the channel strip from the mix-up. And like I said, sitting down with Paul Lonnie, who mixed one of my favorite records ever, which was Megadeth Peace Sells, he said 98% of it was all just done with the SSL channel strips. And, they'd sent a couple things out to, say, 1176s and that kind of thing. But the bulk of the work was done with those channel strips. And that record sounds absolutely freaking amazing. So I figure if I want to get records that sound more like the ones that I grew up with and the ones that I liked, I'd better figure out how to start working with these SSL type emulations. Same thing with guitars. Just using the mix hub a little bit for a little bit of EQ. And I got a Puig Tech going on as well. And a little bit of L1. Bass guitar. Oh, there we go. There's the 1176 for the bass right here. If we look at the gain reduction, here's what's going on. All right, so there you go. If you want to get your hands on an absolutely monster channel strip, I definitely recommend checking out the CLA Mix Hub. Even if you don't use the Mix Hub end of things, which I imagine most of us aren't, this has got to be one of the best SSL channel strip emulations I've ever heard. I had a chat with the Waves guys. Like, they went to Chris's studio and sampled that actual board, so you're very familiar with the sound. It's pretty cool. Now, the fact that the Waves is doing an entire CLA bundle using all of Chris's plugins, I think, is pretty amazing. Like, normally that would cost you like $1,500 or something like that, but it's only going for $200 this week. It's kind of a killer deal. Definitely recommend checking it out. I'll have some links to everything in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if you guys want some more in-depth stuff when it comes to drum mixing, let me know in the comments below and I'll cook up a couple of videos. Thanks again. I'll see you guys next time.